What's going on, everyone? This is Alex, USA Days. So today we're going to talk about top 5 QA interview questions and answers for manual junior QA engineer. Now, those are from my experience. You might have different questions, but one of those normally hits for sure. Now, you might get asked some other, but those are very common, very typical. So we're going to cover those. And if you have any other questions or if you have any other questions answers that you had during the interview, you want to bring them up, put them in the comments, and we can talk about those as well in future videos. Okay, so question number one that is very commonly asked: what development methodologies do you know? What are the differences between waterfall and agile? So I would answer. You can, of course, add other methodologies if you know some other Kanban. If you watch Learn QA from Scratch, my playlist on QA, you can get methodologies from there. But normally they're asking about waterfall versus agile. So if we're talking about agile, if we're talking about waterfall, so waterfall has linear sequential phases. Each stage is planned and well documented, likely to deliver monolithic product that requires only maintenance after release, fits well in highly regulated industries. So that would be waterfall. Was agile, I would say that agile is flexible, with less documentation. Product delivery is ongoing and process is better responding to market change. Development cycles timed, called sprints. So if you want to add more details, do some research on that. Go ahead and add more details. But your answers wants to be, you want to have your answers concise, and you want to make sure that you're delivering the message that you know what you're talking about, right? Now, the next question that I'm going to put out is question number 2. What are the key components of a bug report? Okay, so key components of a bug report. Just a second. So, what are the key components of a bug report? So that's going to be question number 2. Sometimes with that, they also ask what are the most important parts and why do you feel that they are the most important parts. So the components of a bug report are a bug ID, steps to reproduce, logs, environment, expected results, actual results, severity of a bug. You can also have a bug title here. In terms of what is the most important and why, I would say logs, because you actually want to see the issue, right? A video or screenshot. Environment, because you want to have an exactly the same environment if environment is critical for reproducing the bug, because something that is happening on Mac maybe not be happening on Windows machine. And you want to have actual steps to reproduce it. So this is like the most critical 3 things of a bug. If without them, if something is incorrect, you might not ever reproduce the issue properly. The other thing that I would add and throw in there, like, okay, you might want to have a title or a bug ID to identify the bug. So those would be like the most important, most critical things. And then essentially, you don't want to have a bug with any of those, right? They all of the parts of the bug report are important. But if you want to select, they'll ask you to select some. You can say they're all important, but like I could highlight those, right? Those specific. All right. So the next question is, what different types of testing do you know? And again, you can add more. There are like 100 different types of testing. You can definitely add more types. But if you want to just start talking about different types, you can go ahead and start with black box. So black box, you put something in, some data, process data comes out. You can't know what's inside, right? That's a black box. White box, you have access to the code. You actually see how the function is working, what it's doing. Regression testing, so verifying after a fix or a deploy that everything is working as it used to be, nothing got broken, and whatever was actually fixed for the bug, the fix was appropriate. Acceptance testing, so user acceptance testing, everything is going according to the requirements. The feature that was implemented is doing what expected to do. Stress testing, when you put system under stress, you go for longer times, you add more throughput, you maybe add more users connecting at the same time. So you put system out of the expected condition, you just stress it out and see how long can it handle, if it's crashing, what kind of reports it's doing. Demo testing, so before the actual release, you can have partial release, smaller releases with demo testing, making sure that in the live environment, in the smaller production release, everything still works as is. Smoke testing is like a subset of smaller tests before you actually start the testing of the whole product to make sure that it's stable enough to go ahead and move with further testing. There's also like localization testing. Um, there could be, there are 100 different types, right? Those would be like the most common. You can also go ahead and read about other types. You can watch my video, the playlist, learn QA from scratch and other types, and mention those. But I think if you hit like the first 5, 6 and you explain what they are, they'll say, okay, that's fine. They'll tell you to stop because you can go forever with this question. Now, question number 4, what to do if developer says that they cannot reproduce the bug or it's not an issue? That's asked a lot. They want to see how you're going to handle a situation like that. And normally you would want to say, I'm going to stay professional and try to figure things out and how it's working. So the answer that I would go with is if developer doesn't know how to reproduce, they can see that they say it's not an issue. I'll try to help out and show how to reproduce, right? Show how to reproduce and refer to requirements if possible. So if something actually broken is violating the requirements, I want to point it out. The issue is real. This is how it's happening. If still we can't agree on it, I would let my manager know about the situation, what's going on, and I will always stay professional in my communication. So I'm not going to get angry about it, or nothing like that. I'll make sure that all our conversations are recorded and that I am staying professional and trying to resolve issue efficiently. Okay, now the question number 5 is what are test deliverables? That's been asked also often. So test deliverables, it's a set of test artifacts generated by QA team for SDLC, software testing lifecycle, or for SDLC, software development lifecycle. Doesn't really matter much, but if different company will have a different understanding what test deliverables are, what test team needs to produce. But I would say they may include test plan and test strategy, test scenarios document, traceability metrics, bug reports, test summary reports, test data, test flow, like diagrams, how you want to execute tests, test execution reports and status reports, test scripts, QA how-to guides. So essentially, this is what QA does to make sure that everything is going accordingly. The testing is done on time. If everything's documented properly, this is what test deliverables are. All right. So this is the top 5 questions that they normally ask during QA interview for junior QAs. I would say there is a bonus question, and this is asked quite often enough that can be asked anyone, can be junior, middle, senior level. They're asking why you're looking for the change, what can you bring to the company? So most typical answer why you're looking for the change is to say, hey, looking for the change because my contract is over and it's not going to be extended. That's one of the most common things that you can just say. The other thing you can say, I'm not able to grow at the place where I am. I feel like the options are exhausted, so I'm exploring other opportunities. I found your company. I really love your product. That's why I applied. So I want to contribute and actually see the stack, the requirements for the position. I'm familiar with the tools, so I want to bring some to the table. Want to grow as a QA engineer, grow with the team, and contribute to the quality of the product. And then this goes kind of into what can you bring to the company. So I can bring my skill set. I can bring, learn the culture and embrace it. I can help to embrace the culture, to actually bring the quality and say, quality is at the center. So you also want to bring teamwork, and if needed, you can also work as solo. Essentially, they want to see if you're a good fit, right? If you're nice enough to work with, if you're professional, and if other people are gonna like you, if they, if they're you don't want to say something that will throw them off because like I hate my previous job, right? Or I didn't like my manager or something like that. Don't don't say something like that. Be very positive about why you're looking for the change. The change is about you growing. There are no longer options at the previous place, so you're looking for new opportunities. And also say that I want to bring my experience to the table. I want to work on the product because I really like it. Okay, so this is it. Uh, if you like the video, leave a like. If you think about other common questions that you've been asked during Q interview as a junior manual Q engineer, go ahead and leave it in the comments. And I can record other videos like that, and we talk about more interview questions for Q engineers. Thank you, everyone. This is Alex USA Days, and bye bye.